John Hancock is proud to sponsor Kiplinger's no-nonsense look at long-term care.
Hello, I'm Knight Kiplinger, Editor-in-Chief of Kiplinger Publications. For more than 85 years, our journalists have offered consumers and people in management useful information and guidance for decisions about the difficult challenges they face in life. As our nation ages, one of the challenges that more and more of us will face is the possible need for long-term care. The aim of this video is to help you figure out how, if that need arises, you will meet the financial challenges of long-term care. We hope it's useful to you.
I'm Kevin McCormley of Kiplinger's, and I'm here with Mary Beth Franklin, the retirement editor of Kiplinger's Personal Finance magazine, and we're talking about long-term care. Mary Beth, what is this place? A resort of some kind?
No, actually, it's an active adult community for residents 55 and older. In fact, it's one of the hottest trends in retirement living.
But we're here to talk about long-term care. Should we be at a nursing home?
No, this is the perfect place to start because when you're young and healthy and active is the time to think about long-term care and, more importantly, to think about how to pay for it.
Let's go inside and figure this out. Okay, Mary Beth, let's start at the beginning. Exactly what is long-term care?
It's really any care you receive continuously for an extended period of time. That could be a few months or even a few years.
But what kind of care?
Simple things, really. As people age or if they become ill, sometimes they need help with everyday tasks like getting dressed, bathing, going to the bathroom. Or somebody with dementia, like Alzheimer's, might need constant supervision.
Well, where do you get this care?
It can be any place. It can be in your own home, in an assisted living facility, or in more severe cases in a nursing home.
But we're not just talking about nursing homes.
Oh, definitely not. In fact, most people would prefer to receive care at home if they could. And in fact, only about 20% of long-term care is actually delivered in nursing homes. Let me tell you about a couple, John and Kathy Dickman. Both of their parents were receiving care at home. And like a lot of boomers, they're finding firsthand what it's like to deal with long-term care, all the costs and all the problems. Kathy, John, you're in your 50s. When did you start thinking about long-term care?
Well, about 10 years ago, my dad, we found out he had Alzheimer's, and he was taken care of by my mom then for about 3 years.
Did he eventually end up in a nursing home?
Oh yeah, we realized that we had to get him into a facility. And it was after that time that we realized, you know, we should have done that much earlier, quite honestly, because it had taken such a toll on my mom.
And Kathy, what about you? Do you have a history with long-term care in your family?
My dad had a spinal cord injury and became paralyzed and is in a wheelchair. He was very active, traveled, gone to the beach, and now he needs a 24-hour care.
So this is something that just happened suddenly?
Suddenly. Mm-hmm.
What does that do to somebody's life savings?
It's just dwindling. He worked so hard all his life. He gave his life to the Navy, and you just see it disappear.
I'm sure he wanted to leave something to his kids and his grandchildren, leaving a legacy.
That's right. That has been very important to him. It's very, very important.
Will he be able to do it now?
Well, not at this rate. And I'm a nurse practitioner, so I see this happening regularly. People are active, they don't expect something to happen, and boom, something happens.
And do you treat just the patient?
Oh, it has a huge effect on everybody. The spouse, I see spouses regularly and treat them for depression. It's very hard. There's and the adult child. I see them struggling with the burdens of their children and their parents and trying to meet everyone's needs.
The two of you must be thinking, what happens if that's us, huh?
That's right. We don't want to be a burden on our children or each other.
Yeah, and I think it started with on each other because we realized what toll it took on my mom, for example, and we see what it's taken on her stepmom.
So John and Kathy are living the reality of long-term care, and it's forced them to think about what to do about it for themselves.
Well, I understand why they're focused on the issue. I mean, they've got family history, they've got personal experience. She's a nurse. But what are the chances the average person needs to worry about long-term care?
Pretty significant, really. About 60% of people 65 or older will require some sort of long-term care at some point in their life.
So this is an issue for the elderly.
Well, yes and no, because a serious accident, a debilitating illness, it can strike at any age.
And long-term care is expensive.
Yes, and because it's custodial care and not medical care, it's generally not covered by health insurance or Medicare.
So, what do people do when age or illness or accident means they simply can't take care of themselves? We need to look into some of the places that can take care of that. Next, Mary Beth and I continue our discussion at a continuing care facility.